sweet, smoky, and a little boozy. Today, barbecue meets the bar. I'm gonna be making Jack Daniels and Coke ribs. I'm gonna marinate them, smoke them low and slow, and then finish in a delicious Jack Daniels and Coke sauce. This is Jack and Coke like you've never had it before. I'm Maciek, and this is Grillin with Dad, the channel where I share my easy and super approachable grilling recipes, all made in my backyard. If you're new here, be sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of my videos. And if you are not new, welcome back. Barbecue ribs are one of my favorite foods to cook and to eat. And over the years, we've made a bunch of different rib videos that we have on the channel, a lot of them with different sodas, which turned out delicious. So today, I'm using two of my favorites. Well, classic Jack Daniels, classic Coke, and I'm excited to try these out. I've made whiskey barbecue sauces in the past, and they were delicious. So I think this is a perfect pairing of Jack and Coke, especially on ribs, because pork just takes so well to these sweeter barbecue sauces. So let's get started. I'm using baby back ribs for this cook, so I've got 3 racks. Show you one of these right here. First, I'm going to remove the membrane, and this is really easy to do. The best way is to flip the ribs over just like this so the bones are facing up, and now just take your thumb and insert it right under the membrane. Go all the way through, see, just like this. So now the ribs are hanging on the membrane, and now pull to remove. I'm going to do the same to these 2 other racks. Okay, so start with your thumb, then insert your fingers, kind of work your way through, grab, hold, and remove. Last one, thumb, fingers. There's a joke in here somewhere, but this is a family-friendly channel, so there we go. All right, membrane is off. Anytime you're smoking ribs, let me show you this right here. This end here is a little thicker, and then it tapers down here in the end. So when I put this on my smoker, this side is going to overcook before this side finishes. So what I like to do is flip the ribs over, take your knife. I'm gonna trim off this thinner edge piece, put this off to the side, and this first rack is ready. Now on the meat side, this is looking pretty good to me. There's a little bit of fat here, but I'm just going to leave this on. This will render down during the cooking process. So let's get the second one. Jax is waiting for his piece. You gotta wait a little bit longer, buddy, all right? I'm not gonna give you these raw these raw ribs, but you get a little bit once they're done, okay? All right, and here's my third rack. Ooh, this one's super thin. So this is, man, this one's like paper thin at the edge here. So I'm just gonna, again, remove this. Boom, just like that. We've got 3 racks of ribs now. These go back in my tub here. Okay, now we're gonna do the brine for my marinade. It's going to be very simple. It's just gonna be Coke, but not just any Coke. I'm gonna show you exactly what to get. So we are using the Mexican Coke, or the Coke that's made with real sugar. That's what you want to use. If you use the regular kind of canned Coke that has high fructose corn syrup, it won't have that good kind of sugary sweetness like this Coke does. So use the Coke made with real sugar. It's all going to come out much better. And we go in with our Coke. Oh yeah, look at that. Okay, so we've got 3 bottles of Coke, and I'm just going to flip these ribs down so the meat is submerged. Ideally, you want to do this the night before, and you want to put this in your fridge so they can marinate and brine overnight. And if you are doing it the same day, you want to marinate for at least an hour to get some of that cola flavor into the ribs. But I'm going to put these in the fridge, come back in a few hours, and we'll continue on. All right, let's get these guys out of the marinade. So they've been sitting in here for about an hour and a half, so they should be good to go. Take these guys out. Whew. Look at that. Not really much to look at, but it's okay. Get these out, let some of the stuff drain back in the container here. I'm gonna put them on my cutting board. Before you season them, you want to make sure they are nice and dry. Get all this marinade off the ribs, or all this Coke off our ribs. Here's a little tip for you. So anytime you're cooking ribs, you always want to season your presentation side last. That's just going to ensure that it's going to look nice and pretty. So I'm going to start with the bone side up. And for the seasoning, I am going with my all-purpose barbecue rub, which now is available nationwide at all Ace hardware stores, which is pretty amazing. So if you want to pick one of these up, or any other of the 5 seasonings that we have, go to your local Ace hardware and you should be able to get them. For the seasoning, I'm just going to go just a light coat on the bone side. Remember, we're going to finish them off in that Jack Daniels and Coke barbecue sauce. That's going to really bring all the flavor. So this rub is just kind of as a base coat for the seasoning. So I'll flip them over. There we go. And the same on the meat side. Again, you don't need a whole lot, just a nice even layer. Add that in, make sure everything is sticking to the meat. Don't forget to season the edges as well, and then make sure you get all the sides. I emptied out the Coke brine from my container, so I'm gonna put the ribs back in here. There we go, man, they're looking so good already, just with that seasoning. For this cook, I am using my extra large big green egg, so I've got it set up and preheated to about 275 degrees. It's set up for indirect heat. My ribs are going on directly on the grate, so bone side down. I'm gonna get all 3 racks on. The cooking process or the cooking method for these is pretty simple. I'm gonna close this, I'm gonna let them cook for about 2.5 hours. I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna spritz them with more of that Coke every 30 minutes or so to help build up that crust and more of that cola flavor. And I'm gonna wrap it, make my sauce, and we'll finish it off. Ribs are smoking, so now let's make the Jack and Coke sauce. I'm gonna actually cook this outside because I picked up one of these little portable gas burners, which has been great. If you guys do a lot of cooking outside, and if you do sauces or reductions, whatever you do outside, get yourself one of these because this thing has been amazing. All right, anyways, let's get started on our sauce. First up, the Coke. So I'm gonna go with about a half of this bottle or so. Let's open this guy up here. Next up, we've got the Jack Daniels, and I'm gonna go with about 2 ounces for my sauce. 1, that was a big ounce, and 2. Next, we've got some brown sugar. We've got a cup of ketchup. Next, I've got a 1/4 cup of pineapple juice, a tablespoon of soy sauce for a little bit more of the depth and umami flavor, some yellow mustard. Let's get all this out. Little crushed red pepper, and I'm gonna season everything with more of my all-purpose rub. So this has the salt, pepper, garlic, little onion powder. Let's fire up this burner. And anytime you're making a sauce, you just want to bring this up to a low boil, then reduce to a simmer, and then just cook down until it reduces to your desired consistency. So for this sauce, I want it to be nice and thick and kind of syrupy. So this will probably take about 20-25 minutes or so. It smells really good already. I mean, it smells like Coke, it smells like whiskey. Really can't go wrong with that. Sauce has been reducing down for about 30 minutes, and I think this is about ready. So let me cut this heat, and you can see it reduced by a little bit more than half. You can see it thickened up nicely. That's kind of what you're going for. So let's give this thing a quick taste. Ooh, oh, that is really nice. You can taste the Coke, you can taste the whiskey. That is really good. It does have some heat to it. So I used 1 teaspoon of crushed red pepper. If you don't want it to be as spicy, use half a teaspoon or even a 1/4 teaspoon. It does need a little bit of the heat to cut through all that kind of sweetness. But this is a really, that's a really good sauce. Ribs have been on for about an hour. So let's take a peek. Oh yeah, look at that. These guys are coming along nicely. They still have a little bit ways to go, but I'm gonna spritz them with more of the Coke. So this is just a regular spray bottle. I put some of the Coke in there. I'm just gonna mist them on the outside, provide a little bit extra moisture, more flavor. All right, leave that as is. Come back and check on them in another hour or so. Okay, I think it's time to wrap up the ribs. I've got all my supplies, so I've got my foil, a little bit more Coke. Let's take a look at these guys. So they have been on for around 2 hours, a little bit over. Ooh, wow, look at that. These are looking super nice. So from spritzing them with the Coke, all those sugars are starting to caramelize, and look at this outside. Bones are peeking out, so these guys are definitely ready to get wrapped up. Wrapping these ribs is very easy. So just take a nice piece of aluminum foil. I like using this heavy duty stuff so it's less likely to tear. And stay. Okay, I'll just put this right on there. Okay, now back to the ribs. So I'll take your ribs. I'm gonna lay these down meat side down, bone side up. I'm gonna fold over the sides. This side, this side. Now before I close this edge, I'm gonna pour in about a 1/4 cup of the Coke. So this is gonna help the ribs braise and get super tender. So normally when I do ribs, I'll do like a butter mixture, maybe some brown sugar, a little bit more seasoning. But for these, I really wanna focus on this Coke flavor. So I'm just gonna go in with some Coke right in here. And these are in their meat side down, so they're gonna just braise in that delicious Coca-Cola. And back on the grill they go. I'm gonna do the same for all 3 racks. Now, one super important thing for this next part of the cook is you wanna be sure your grill temperature is below 300 degrees. All the sugars that are in the Coke will start to burn at around 300 degrees. So if your grill is any hotter than that, your ribs are just gonna get torched. So keep your temperature below, anywhere around the 250 to 275 degree mark is ideal. And then I'm just gonna keep them in the wrap until they get fork tender. So that's gonna be about another hour or so. I'm gonna check on them in about 45 minutes to make sure. But now we're just cooking just to get them tender and to get them finished off. And back on we go. It's been about an hour or so. I think our ribs are tender and ready to get sauced. Let me show you the sauce here actually. Look how nice this looks. It has this beautiful color, thickened up nicely, nice and shiny. Oh yeah. All right, let's get to the ribs here. Let's open this guy up. Oh yeah, look at that. Wow. Super bendy. These feel nice and tender. If you're checking internal temperatures, you want to take these to around 200 degrees. That's going to get them nice and tender without having the bones fall off or the meat just kind of fall apart. That's usually kind of my go-to temperature. And like I said, that takes about an hour in the wrap. So now to sauce them up, you just kind of flip them meat side up right here on the foil. Oh, wow. These are some nice looking ribs. So you fold them or you flip them meat side up, then kind of roll up the foil on the sides, making these little foil boats. And that's just gonna help keep everything nice and clean, because then it makes it easier to take them off the grill. And now I'm gonna glaze the ribs with our sauce. So just pour a little bit right over the top. Spread this on. Wow. This is a really nice looking sauce. Beautiful color, nice and shiny, super glossy. There we go. And I'm just gonna leave them on like this for a few more minutes, just to let that sauce stack on a little bit. There we go. Looking good. All right, so now I'm gonna close the grill. The temperature is still right around that kind of 250, 270 degree mark. And I'm gonna leave these on for another maybe 15 minutes or so. That sauce is gonna tack on, then we're gonna let them rest for a little bit, and our ribs will be ready to go. Ribs are done. Check these out. I mean, they are looking so good. That sauce stacked up, has that beautiful color and shine to them. So I'm gonna let these rest for about 10-15 minutes. I'm gonna loosely cover them with foil, let the cooking process stop. Those juices will redistribute, and I'm gonna slice them up and then finally give them a taste. All right, ribs have rested, and I mean, just check these out. I can't get over how nice these look. So the best way to cut them is to actually flip them bone side up, so you see exactly where the bones are, and then you can just cut right in between. That is feeling super tender. Flip these guys over. Ooh, look at that. So here's a nice little cross section, right? Nice and juicy, tender. Get a little smoke ring on the bottom, a little bit here on top. There is Jax. You are ready for your bite, but let me go first. Let's try it out. Let me try it one more time. Oh wow. Nice and clean from the bone. Still kind of hangs on, doesn't fall apart. I've cooked a lot of ribs over the last couple of years. These right here are delicious. You can definitely taste the Coke. You get that kind of sweet whiskey flavor. The heat, so the sauce I thought was going to be a little bit too spicy on its own, but on the ribs, it's actually not spicy at all. It's really well balanced. Yeah, these are delicious. But here, let me got some more of my sauce. Let me go a little dipping action. Yeah, look at that. Oh yeah. This sauce is really good. So there you have it, Jack Daniels and Coke ribs, tender, smoky, delicious, coated with this sweet, boozy barbecue sauce that just takes it over the top. I'm Maciek with Grillin' with Dad, where we keep grilling simple and delicious. If you enjoyed this video, hit that subscribe button, leave a like, and let me know in the comments what you guys want to see me next. And I hope to see you at the grill. So good.